Jashodanandana Brajadanaranjana Jashodanandana Brajadanaranjana Yamunatiravanam Sari Yamunatiravanam Sari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Radha Madhava Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Brajadanaranjana Jashodanandana Brajadanaranjana Yamunatiravanachari Yamunatiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunda Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Radha Madhava Radha, Jaya Radha Madhava Radha Madhava Radhe, Radha Madhava Radha, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jaya 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 Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Pimanande. Jayam Vishupad. Paramahamsa Pri Vrajgacharya Stotra Satta Sri Srimad, His Divine Grace. Celebrate Charan Arvind Bhaktivedanta Swami Sri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Skandibiti Founder Acharya Divine Grace Sri Prabhupada Ki Namacharya Sri Haridas Thakur Ki Samabhat Bhakti Vrinda Ki Harinam Sankirtan Ki Grantaraj Bhagavatam Ki Daimitai Gaura Primanande. All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and to Sri Gauranga, all glories to Sri Prabhupada Ki. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chaksurunmiritam Jena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Palakamalam Sri Gurun Vaisnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kancana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priye Vansakalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhu Vyaevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is our very means of conquest, let us first offer our respectful obeisances unto Narayana, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, unto Narayana Rishi, the supremmost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Nasta prayesa badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Tamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistiki. By regularly hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering a service unto the pure devotee, all that is troublesome within the heart becomes destroyed practically to nil, and loving devotional service unto the Supreme Lord, who is praised with transcendental songs, it becomes established as an irrevocable fact. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Puranam Brahmasamitam Uttama Shloka Charitam Sakara Bhagavan Rishi Nishreyasaya Lokasya Dhanyam Swasyayanam Mahat. This Srimad Bhagavatam, known as the Grantaraj, the king of all Vedic literatures, is the literary incarnation of God. It is compiled by the incarnation of God, the Srila Vyasadeva. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people. It is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Om Sarabhyaya Namaha Mukam karoti vacharam pangum langayate grim Yat kripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam Yat kripat maham bande Sri Gurum Dinataranam. Welcome to our morning Bhagavatam class, continuing from Canto number 1, chapter 17, entitled Punishment and Reward of Kali. Today text number 28. Yes. Iti dharmam mahim chaiva sant vayitva maha rataha nishatam adade kagam kalaye dharma hitave iti dharmam mahim chaiva sant vayitva maharatah nishatam adade kagam kalaye dharma hetave iti dharmam mahim chaiva sant vayitva maharatah nishatam adade kagam kalaye dharma hetave iti dharmam mahim chaiva sant vayitva maharatah nishatam adade kagam kalaye dharma hetave iti dharmam mahim chaiva
Iti dharmam mahim chaiva
santayitva maharatah nishatam adade khadgam
kalaye dharma
hetave
iti dharmam mahim chaiva satvayitva maharatah nisatam adade khadgam kalaye dharma hetave
iti. Thus, dharmam, the personality of religion.
The personality of religion.
Mahim.
Mahim.
Can reduce this. Yeah. Mahim, the earth. Cha, also.
Also.
Eva,
Eva.
as. Sant Vayitva,
Santayitva.
after pacifying.
After pacifying.
Maharatha, the general who could fight alone
Could fight alone.
with thousands of enemies.
Thousands of enemies.
Nishatam,
Satam.
sharp.
Short.
Adade,
Adade.
took up.
Took up.
Kagam,
Khadgam.
sword.
Sword.
Kalaye,
Kali.
to kill the personified Kali.
To kill the personified Kali.
Adharma,
Dharma.
irreligion.
Irreligion.
Hitave,
Hetave.
the root cause.
The root cause.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki.
Jai.
Maharaj Parikshit, who could fight 1,000 enemies single-handedly, and thus pacified the personality of religion and the earth. Then he took up his sharp sword to kill the personality of Kali, who is the cause of all irreligion. Kindly repeat after me. Maharaj Parikshit,
Maharaj Parikshit.
who could fight
Who could fight
1,000 enemies
1,000
single-handedly,
single-handedly.
thus pacified
Thus pacified
the personality of religion
the personality of religion
and the earth.
and the earth.
Then he took up his sharp sword
Then he took up his sharp sword
to kill the personality of Kali,
to kill the personality of Kali,
who is the cause of all irreligion.
who is the cause of all irreligion.
Report. As described above, the personality of Kali is he who deliberately commits all kinds of sinful acts which are forbidden in the revealed scriptures. This age of Kali will certainly be full of all activities of Kali. But this does not mean that the leaders of society, the executive heads, the learned and intelligent men, or above all, the devotees of the Lord, should sit down tightly and become callous to the reactions of the age of Kali. In the rainy season, certainly there will be profuse rainfalls, but that does not mean that men should not take means to protect themselves from the rains. It is the duty of the executive heads of state and others to take all necessary actions against the activities of Kali, or the person influenced by the age of Kali. And Maharaj Parikshit is the ideal executive head of the state, for at once he was ready to kill the personality of Kali with his sharp sword. The administrators should not simply pass resolutions for anti-corruptional steps, but they must be ready with sharp swords to kill the persons creating corruptions from the angle of vision of the recognized Shastras. The administrators cannot prevent corrupt activities by allowing wine shops. They must at once close all shops of intoxication, of intoxicating drugs and wine, and force punishment even by death, for those who indulge in habits of intoxication of all description. That is the way of stopping the activities of Kali, as exhibited herein by Maharaj Parikshit the Maharatha. Translation again. Maharaj Parikshit, who could fight 1,000 enemies single-handedly, thus pacified the personality of religion and the earth. Then he took up his sharp sword to kill the personality of Kali, who is the cause of all irreligion. So Srila Prabhupada makes an important point, a number of important points. One being that although by nature the devotees of the Lord, Vaishnavas, are peaceful, are meant to be peaceful, and against violence. However, when there are rampant deviations and activities that directly go against the principles of Dharma, and of course this is being underlined here, the activities of adharma are especially summarized or centered on these four sinful activities of meat eating, gambling, intoxication, and illicit sex life. Therefore, the devotees, when it is necessary, should be very active, should be very vocal in speaking against such activities, and should take various measures to minimize or curb down. Prabhupada is giving a specific instruction here in regards to wine shops or different types of intoxication, which is one of the major very destructive activity, especially amongst young people. A few years back, when we were doing some organized village preaching in different states here in India, the most common problem actually when going to villages, when we were having night programs, was intoxication. In some programs, 80-90% of the people were intoxicated, not just one or two. The majority of people, because the villages, we talked about this before, the villages in India especially, have been practically speaking abandoned. There are practically no strong leaders. And by leaders, we especially mean people who are able to give spiritual direction, brahmanas, those who are able to actually organize and correct the ills in society, means kshatriyas. And also there are no or very few qualified leaders in terms of Vaishyas as well. These are the natural leaders in society who are meant to be equipped with proper knowledge and who are meant to defend actually the principles of Dharma. So this is the very, Srila Prabhupada was extremely conscious of the very deplorable condition in society. And of course, in addition to chanting the holy name, which is the beginning and the basis of all activities, Srila Prabhupada had specific plans and projects to actually help bring about the needed changes within society. In other words, our society are those who are meant to represent the mission of the Lord, are also meant to bring about what is called social change within society. We are not simply a religious movement, we're also meant to be a social movement. Actually, we're meant to be four things in terms of movement: a religious movement, an educational movement, a cultural movement, as well as a social movement. Lord Chaitanya is glorified as being a social reformer, 500 years ago. And therefore, of course, one of the most important aspects or emphasis given by Srila Prabhupada was to methodically and systematically introduce this knowledge, this training of Krishna consciousness, of the Vedic culture, in different ways, especially as we know, it's a major theme in Srila Prabhupada's mission in terms of Gurukul and Varnashram colleges. So we need to ask ourselves that question, whether we are sufficiently being vocal. What does it mean to be vocal? Actually, we're vocal every time we go out on Harinam, I suppose, by reminding people or introducing, for those who are not aware of the Yuga Dharma, the chanting of the holy name. But what other ways can we be vocal in bringing about more awareness within society? We should be asking ourselves such kind of question. How can we be more vocal? How can we be more effective in bringing about the needed changes within, as Prabhupada would describe, misguided modern society? Prabhupada at one time mentioned how we should be taxing, he used the word taxing our brains. What does it mean to tax our brain? To give taxes? Yeah, it means to be thinking, to be meditating, to be consciously endeavoring. Taxing our brain means to plan in different ways what to do as devotees. Okay, we are living in ashram, which is very nice, but as those who are living in ashrams actually are meant to have a more sober and clear understanding of the problems of modern day society, problems at hand, means are supposed to be more clear in knowing uh, the um, the problems in society, as well as the solutions that are meant to be uh, introduced in society to actually change. So, what are some, how to be more vocal? Yes,
Preaching the messages of acharyas,
preaching the messages of acharyas. How?
with the help of Srila Prabhupada's wisdom.
Yes, of course. Yeah, yeah. Yes.
Maharaj, as you mentioned, there are 4 different dimensions: religion, culture, social, right? So all these aspects are there. And if you think about it, though all of these dimensions are covered in Srila Prabhupada's books, they need to be structurally delineated, elaborated, and presented, like on each of these dimensions, specifically social, where we are underrepresenting, uh, and, right? And so when we reach out to people, of course, we can leverage all kind of media, the social media, YouTube, but to systematically present the problems, and many of them, even outside of spiritual movements, people have pointed out the problems, and in general, people are aware of it, but because there is no solution, and we talk about solution, again, there are 2 dimensions to it. The solution that is realistic and scalable.
Right.
It has to scale. When people see a viable path, a solution that is realistic and scalable, will have a more receptive audience. And that's an area that's lacking.
Yes.
And that needs to be systematically presented.
Yes.
Because people hear, "Oh, I'm aware of this problem, but what's the solution?" When they don't hear it, okay, just forget it, let me just keep on doing what I'm doing.
Or when they hear just general solutions.
Yeah, general,
which is
like a bicycle.
right. Yeah. By scalable, we need to think in terms of what many professional people do. Their approach is like Prabhupada also spoke about, like immediate, short-term, long-term solutions to address different different problems that are facing society in general. Yes. So that is connected with what Prabhupada in a general way instructed in terms of being systematic in addressing the problem, or is systematic in introducing Prabhupada was, for example, gave and created these different types of courses, Bhakti Shastri, Bhakti Vaibhav, etc. That was something specific. Yeah.
The other thing is that here we see that Parikshit Maharaj not just punishing Kali immediately when he sees and he find out that Kali is sinful, but first he satisfied Dharma and Bhumi by his nice behaved discussion. Can you imagine that there is Kali? He just stopped sinful activities, and still Parishad must start to deal with him, start to deal with the persons who are suffering first. So it's a very nice character which is very determined to stop the sin, but still his main goal is not just stop the sinful activities, but protect persons. And first, they have to make sure that their mind is not disturbed anymore, they are safe, and then he deals with the sinful person.
Right.
So it's very, for a leader, we should understand that in this situations are complex.
So, to continue along this line, it means, for example, we already know how within modern day society and within our own movement as well, those who are the most vulnerable, those who are especially in need of protection, means women, children, brahmanas, cows as well, elders. They need to be given attention, which is the point you're making. Which is,
I mean, Maharaj, we went out to do Sankirtan very early, but we made some arrangement to protect devotees who went out. At the beginning, no one was allowed to go out alone. The stronger person always took a weaker with him, and it was make sure that the weakers are not collapse on the street or become disturbed too much mentally or physically. We have soldiers, but we have to protect the soldiers also. So when we go preach, we have to protect the preachers also for long term. Not just today you came into the ashram, tomorrow you go and save others. It's not for everyone, it's possible. So we have to see who is capable and what are their capacity, and it's, put more and more weight step by step also for the preachers.
Yeah.
Like I see here, Maharaj, you see so many, problems to solve, but you don't push into like trains like others. Just step by step. I see him for 6 months ago. He was quite different. So he's more capable now. And now he can get more instruction from you. I see these instructions coming out from my mind. But that was my, beginnings also. So you can see so many things, but you don't speak a harsh word about how it looks like, and so many things you can point out what is not properly done, but keep in line that okay, they are not capable to do more. But in time,
Right.
there is a time you have to do. So it's very complex, this kind of teamwork against Kali influence.
Yes. It means that the influence of Kali is Kali Yuga, all pervasive, and not only outside our ashrams. Kali is infiltrating everywhere, and but yeah, the point you're making is we need to be sensitive. The very fact that individuals, for example, come and live in an ashram is a major. It's a major. It's something that is very unusual. I mean, we could say very commendable in itself. It's not at all easy to make such kind of a decision. And as you rightly point out, we cannot expect that that one be immediately perfect in one's activities, and so there's a gradual approach that needs to be there. Yes. Prabhupada at one point explained how he gave the expression Krishna consciousness is a slow process, but is a sure process. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Yeah. The responsibility for increasing our level of Krishna consciousness lies upon each and every individual, of course, and that will be more easily achievable when we are following, the recommended practices that are especially in ashram life. Here where there is reference to Maharaj Parikshit as being Maharata. So Vedic culture, when people are actually taking up the training that is recommended, when people are favored by having a very more conducive type of atmosphere, they do develop to become very powerful personalities, as we see in the case of Parikshit Maharaj. So it means part of what we need to do to become more effective is to put into practice what is, at least for ourselves individually, and then we can become more effective in whatever activities we take up. We'll be able to gradually develop some of the needed qualities or qualifications, and we'll be able to understand more easily, as you mentioned, what are practical steps. What are practical steps? For example, here we are in ashram. Usually in temples, they have Harinam. So, when's the last time some of you went on Harinam? Have you ever been on Harinam? You know yeah. We are referred to as the Harinam Sankirtan movement. Harinam means yeah, public. There's public chanting, group, congregational chanting. It used to be in temples in the early days a daily activity, a daily affair, and in many temples, although it may not be daily, but people are aware that maybe on special days especially, one goes out with a group of devotees to chant in public that is called Harinam Sankirtan, which is something we have yet introduced here, which is also a feature that we find in villages, you know, and which is whether it's Harinam Sankirtan, which is very basic and fundamental actually to our movement, or distribution of books. We should be aware of the different, we could say, main activities or main lines that make up what we call the Krishna consciousness movement. And we should all at some point have some kind of exposure or experience in distributing books, in going out on Harinam like that. Of course, we have a small number of devotees here, and
Vishwanath Prabhu is going daily for this Harinam.
yeah, Vishnuratha Prabhu.
He's singing and he's playing Mridanga in the
Yeah.
group. Very nice kirtan he's doing.
Yeah, right.
Every day.
I think one practical thing we could be doing. What time do they
5:30 to 7. 5:30 to 7.
every day? 5:30 to 7. So that's 1.5 hours. 5:30 to 7. I think it would be good.
Our his Prabhu also came with Vishwanath Prabhu. He was playing Mridanga.
Yeah. Yes. I think it will be a good practice if we have some of our devotees occasionally participating in Harinam.
Tuesday will be off for them.
Huh?
Weekly off is Tuesday. Tuesday
They
is
don't
weekly
go on
off.
Tuesday.
Oh, Tuesday is off. Okay, good to know. Yes.
If there is a rain, there will be.
Yes.
Maharaj, I have protection.
You have?
Protection. I have a opposite opinion.
Yes.
Yeah. So to go out, Harinam, Sankirtan, public Harinam is very beautiful, very nice. But we have to bring our heart, which is full of joy. So that's the joy we have to gain by having inside Harinam Sankirtan, as in Navadvip, Shiv Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started in Shiva's Pandit house. And when this Harinam attained the peak and everyone was really full of joy and filled up totally, then they have a desire to go out and they show their joy for others. Otherwise, if you must go out and you have no joy in your heart, how you do Harinam for others? So I see here Balaram program, and this young boy was not here. They have some other program, other service, so they couldn't really enjoy this nice Harinam before the deities. So I was sad a little bit. So we have a nice program, short program, and still we are not here for half an hour to jump up and down.
Well, that happens in every temple. Otherwise,
yeah, first we have
no, I'm saying
sorry.
that happens in every temple, that not everybody will be there. Otherwise, there's no feast. I'm saying.
Sure, but
Yeah.
But
So,
then they are not enjoying, then how to bring them out?
well, no, the idea is that in all of our temples, all over the world, there was no, that's important. Your point is very well taken. At the same time, when when devotees get the opportunity to be with people who are enthusiastic and who are appreciating the holy name, they get to know about that as well. So both can be done or should be done, let's say. Though in temples, especially in smaller temples, not everyone can always be attending all the functions. For example, we have our pujaris who are, of course, we have the class close to the altar so they can hear the Bhagavatam class, but they're not present, during Bhagavatam class. Yes, as much as possible, all devotees should be present, but it's just not practical to do all the different things that are needed. But all the activities were actually going on in the same localities, so that even those who were maybe in the kitchen, they could hear the kirtan or they could hear the katha to some extent. So that was text 20. Yes. Okay. Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki Jai 28.